Hello everybody, welcome back to Drinks and a Movie. Chris Hamker here with you. Today I'll be talking about A Star is Born. The Oscar nominations came out today and that's on the list, which I expected it to be, and I gotta be honest with you, I missed it back in the fall. And so I decided to go and see it today, and I want to talk about it. But first, let's start with a drink, of course, and today's drink is going to be the Whiskey Neat, which is just a fancy way of saying whiskey without any ice, without any flavors, added extras, just a good old-fashioned glass of whiskey. And I'm gonna use what's in here is Wild Turkey's barrel-aged whiskey, and it's okay. It's not something I would probably buy again. It's a little expensive for what you get, but I maintain that Wild Turkey's regular and rye is the best whiskey out there for the price. So if you're looking for a good mixer, a good just solid whiskey that's around $20 to $25, get Wild Turkey. This not so much, but I'm going to use it today, and I'm gonna show you this amazing decanter that has my name on it. It says Hamker's Drinks in a Movie, have a drink on me, and I'm going to pour this out and talk about A Star is Born. So, A Star is Born is directed by Bradley Cooper and stars Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga, and also Lady Gaga wrote the music for this and a lot of the songs. And cheers, everybody. Little sips when you're doing whiskey neat. A Star is Born, Bradley Cooper, Lady Gaga. This movie, I gotta be honest, I wasn't too thrilled to see it, obviously, because I didn't watch it back in the fall. But I really enjoyed it. What I wanted to do with this review is do a not written, which I normally write my reviews before I do them, and kind of a raw, maybe one take, we'll see how it goes, kind of feeling in the movie, because the movie is also very raw in and of itself. So what I thought about A Star is Born is that I thought it was very well made, very well done. It's nominated for Best Picture in the Oscars right now, and it's one of those movies that has a lot to say, and I think says it pretty well. So I'm going to start out with what I loved. The performances. Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper are incredible, especially Lady Gaga, who started out, she had her first scene of dialogue, and she sort of was looking for the words and seemed a bit unsure. And I don't know if it was the first scene shot, who knows? But I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe to get better. It certainly does. And she not only delivers on the acting front, she is a incredible singer. So much so that I got taken out of the movie just listening to her. And it's so great for that. Hey guys, so Lady Gaga's amazing. Hi John. Hey buddy. Okay, so Lady Gaga's great. Bradley Cooper, who I've pretty much always liked. I was watching and I feel like, because Sam Elliott's in the movie, I feel like he asked Sam Elliott to read every line that he had, and Bradley Cooper did it that way, but they flipped it on me, and they, in the movie, explain why he sounds so much like Sam Elliott, who plays his brother in the movie, and really took me off guard as to how much that. First of all, he did sound like Sam Elliott, but there is certainly a reason for it, and it is incredible. Plus, he can sing. I mean, I'm assuming he can play music, and he just embodies this character, heart and soul, as does Lady Gaga and Sam Elliott to a certain degree. I think Sam Elliott is barely in this movie, and I wish he was in it more. But they're all very, very great. I mean, like top notch. Who else was great in terms of acting? Andrew Dice Clay, out of nowhere, was incredible as Lady Gaga's Allie's, who she plays. She plays Allie, and Bradley Cooper plays Jack. He plays Allie's father, and he is wonderful. Who knew? I mean, he's just kind of a shock comic. Also, I said Andrew Dice Clay. Also, Dave Chappelle playing one of Bradley Cooper's old friends. Jumps in for like essentially a scene and really blows me away. It's so great that Bradley Cooper found these gems of acting that you didn't expect. I mean, I knew Chappelle and Andrew Dice Clay from their stand-up performances, but had no idea they were such good actors. The music is so good. It's so good that the movie kind of peaks a little early, which I'll talk about in the negatives, with the song "Shallows," the duet between Jack and Allie, and it gives me chills. It brings me to tears. It really grabs you and really, just takes you along for this ride of the music, which it should for a musical. I also like the fact that eventually Lady Gaga's character, Allie, becomes kind of a pop star, in which her music then changes a little bit. And I appreciate that. I didn't particularly like the type of music it changes into, because it changes into like a pop star sort of Ariana Grande type stuff, and which is fine. I'm not crapping on her, but it's very good as well. So then I need to move into the negatives real briefly, because I have something really important to say at the end of this video. The negatives are, I don't think the movie handles, first of all, it peaks way too early with that song "The Shallows," which is about 40 minutes into the movie, about a half hour, 40 minutes, and it peaks right there, and there isn't as much of an emotional payoff as it was at that moment when Lady Gaga's pulled on stage, and you see it in the trailer. And so that's one of the negatives. The second negative, and it's really hard to do this in a movie like this, but the themes of the movie are really, really heavy-handed. And what I mean by this is that there's two themes. There's Allie's rise to fame, and there's Jack's descent into addiction, mainly alcoholism and drugs, mainly alcoholism, and they show it. The problem with the movie is they show it immediately, and almost every scene they have with him, it's reminding you, hey, remember, he's an alcoholic. He's an alcoholic. He's an alcoholic. A more kind of subtle movie would have interspersed that with just him being normal, him being kind of just there and not drunk, and not sort of hammering that message home. That's that to me is the biggest negative, and it's very kind of minor in this. I thought this movie is great. I'm okay with it being nominated for Best Picture. It may have squeaked into my top 10 if I had seen it last year. It definitely moves into my top 20 of 2018. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was emotional. I thought it hit me on a level that it might not hit everyone, and this is where I want to kind of get a little serious here. I think this movie will hit people on different levels because of the things they've gone through in their lives. My father was an alcoholic, and I think I could possibly have tendencies toward there. And this movie kind of showed me how it really looks from the outside, and it was very emotional for me. Also, I've had a friend that, spoiler alert, I guess, for A Star is Born, so if you don't want to know real spoilers about the ending, I've had a friend that committed suicide. and that also, that part of the movie affected me quite a bit as well. So here's what I want to say about that. First of all, I do this channel, Drinks and a Movie, because I think having a drink every once in a while is okay, and it's fun, and it's something that on a certain basis can be fun and can be enjoyable. If you are, and I'm very serious about this, if you are going to something like this because you feel like there's nothing else there, then set both of these aside and stop for a minute and think about why. Because this movie made me think about that, and made me think about all kinds of things. And despite its negatives, it is very effective that way. It shows me that there is something else going on if your only option is to go to this. And if that's the case, then push it away. Talk to your friends, talk to your family, talk to somebody about why that is. And the next thing I want to talk about, and it's a very, very sensitive subject, and I understand that it's sensitive, is suicide. Suicide, I had a friend that that felt the need to do that. And I have certain feelings on it. I feel like it's a very selfish act. And that's probably very controversial, but in the moment, I'm sure that person, and this is what this film showed me, that person thinks that they are doing what they think is best for their loved ones because they feel like they're a burden. They feel like there's something that they do that is keeping them from being their best selves. And that's not the case. If you're feeling like if you're feeling like that, if you feel like that somebody that you're being a burden, that without you in their lives makes their life better, don't feel that way, because it's not true. Anybody, please, that feels that way should reach out to their friends, to their family, because they would 100% rather you do that than not be there. That's what this movie showed me, and it's crazy because I think it is a little too heavy-handed in terms of narrative, in terms of filmmaking about its message, but it hit me because I'm involved in this kind of thing in such a way, and not everybody's going to feel that way. Some people might see this and maybe enjoy it for the music, maybe enjoy it for the performances, but not be emotionally connected to it. I was, and yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. If I just reach out to one person, then that's enough. So thank you.